Hi, my name is Jason. I'm with Madness Autoworks, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install the new SILA Concepts ram air intake that is designed specifically for the Fiat ABARTH and the Fiat 500 Turbo. When you get the package from us, the kit's going to consist of several pieces. To start off with, it's the SILA Concepts ram air intake, which is highly constructed, way over engineered for this application. It's a multi-layer construction, molded form to fit this car and the 500T perfectly. In addition to that, it's going to include 3 stainless steel hose clamps, to keep everything, together, and it's going to hold up to the weather and time. It's not going to rust or corrode. It's going to look as good as it did on day one. In addition to that, it's going to come with this polished, nicely TIG welded bracket that's bead rolled to keep everything together as far as the intake and the air filter. And it comes with the mounting hole to fix it to the engine, so it keeps it in its place. Last but not least, it's going to come with the BMC intake filter, which is very high quality, if not the highest quality of any air filter, made from BMC from Italy, and it's specifically designed for the SILA Concepts ram air intake to fit into the 500 ABARTH and the 500 Turbo, also known as the 500T. Now that you know what the kit consists of, I'm going to be showing you what tools are needed to assemble this and how to assemble it prior to installing it into the 500 ABARTH and the 500T, also known as the 500 Turbo. Real simple, it's a pair of pliers. You're going to need a 10mm ratchet with an extension. And last but not least, the flathead screwdriver. Basic tools, very simple to install. And I'm going to be showing you how to assemble all these pieces. And then after that, we're going to be showing you how to install it into the car. So here we have the SILA Concepts ram air intake fully assembled. And I'm going to be showing you how to get to this by assembling these parts. So first, you want to pick up the silicone intake. And then you're going to start with one of the stainless steel hose clamps and say, we're just putting everything on loose. So this right here, just so it's snug, it fits, because we're going to have to make adjustments and also allow clearance for the bead roll so it slips over that, because that's what's essentially going to keep it from coming apart once it's tightened. So we got to put this clamp, this one goes down to the turbo. This stainless steel clamp is going to be right here on the top. Now at this point, we're taking the bracket that I showed you earlier, making note that the angle of this, so this goes to the turbo, you want to make sure that the mounting tab is parallel and on the same side as this, because it makes a difference once you get it in there. So once you get it, you're going to slide it so that silicone slides completely up to the weld. And then simply take the hose clamp and just slide it back up over that so it sits flush to the outside. You want it not all the way to the end, but fairly close, just and try to keep it even so it looks nice. Now we're going to take the BMC filter and do the same thing, sliding on the other end of this, going over the bead roll, making sure it's in far enough so it does, when we tighten it down, that the bead roll is going to keep it from popping out for whatever reason. So once you have it, this is basically it. Remember to make sure that is clocked so it is parallel even with this, because that's the way it's going to be mounted in the car. So a little massaging, eyeballing, very simple to see that. So I'm happy with that. And then you just go ahead and grab your flathead screwdriver. And I also like to keep the screw, the mounting point where you tighten it, to the bottom side, because it makes it look cleaner, and it kind of hides that big bulky screw. It's real simple, it's aluminum. You don't got to go crazy tight on it, because the bead roll is going to hold it from coming apart. So you just want to get a nice, good snug on it to keep it from coming apart. Real simple. And then this one, we're not tightening out because it has to go onto the turbo. So once it's installed, we'll go ahead and tighten that one as well. And now I'm going to be showing you what needs to be disconnected, unscrewed to remove this section in order to make room for the SILA Concepts ram air intake. So to start off, we want to come back here to the air filter intake and just simply loosen that screw, which is loose. Now this one up here in the front is a little tricky to get to, but same concept. Just unscrew it, make sure nice and loose, like so. Now this is where your needle nose or pliers comes in handy. So right here, it's a little spring clip. So you just want to squeeze that to slide it back in order to get this vacuum line off. It just pulls right off once you get the clamp out of the way, like so. And the last is this connection right here, which is a spring loaded thing. So you'd want to push on the gray part enough to where it releases it, and then simply just pull off like that. So now that's off. Get it out of the way. Come in here with your little screwdriver, get a little pull, and same in the front. And this is completely removed. In order to install the intake, you got to come in here next to the oil fill neck. You notice there's a 10mm bolt, which is actually an M6 1.0 10mm socket. You simply remove that, and that's what the mounting bracket that is supplied with the kit is going to be. That's where it's going to be attached. So you get that removed. Simply drop it in the hole like so. And at this point, you take your intake, you're gonna squeeze it down inside here and put it onto the intake, the inlet of the turbo. I'm just gonna leave it loose. Gotta loosen the clamp up just a little bit to fit over that lip. So now we get that on. And come back and reattach the two connectors that we had removed. Pop it on, and then this one simply slips over. Get your pliers again to release this so it can slide on. Now it's in the back where the bolt is that we just removed. And then tighten it up, making sure that it's in there straight so you don't cross thread it or strip it. Again, this is a little snug, it's just aluminum, you don't gotta get crazy tight on it. And then now you just make sure everything's happy where it needs to be. Once the intake's installed and you're, where it's everything's mounted, you got the bolts here, hose clamp on there. Again, remember when I said, you want to leave everything loose. The reason why, because like I said, when it's loose, the filter could be cocked up, down, left, right, and so forth. So before you tighten everything up, you want to make sure, see how we installed this one. It is perfectly straight. So you want to keep the filter in line with the intake so it looks fluid, everything's lined up, it looks sexy. We got clearance on all angles, top, bottom, left, and right. So once you get a position to where we're happy or you're happy with it, then just go ahead and tighten everything up and constantly keep checking, because as I said, when you're tightening, sometimes you apply pressure, it can wiggle. So just make sure you hold it straight and tighten it down. Once it's all tight and you're happy with it, you can call this done. It's installed. Now that the intake is fully installed, you can get a better look at this custom-made intake filter that was designed from BMC for this ram air. If you look, you can see that it is tapered, and it allows for the filter to breathe, you know, from all angles, you know, left, right, top, bottom, you know, all the way 360 degrees. The amount of clearance that we have fully around, you know, so there's plenty of clearance. So, you know, with the engine rocking, rotating, you know, aggressive driving, this filter is going to stay where it is, and it has zero chance of it rubbing against anything because it's custom made for this particular motor, this application. And it's overall, the fit and finish is beautiful, as you can see.